Eli5, why is it more comforting to have even the thinnest blanket covering when sleeping? It is just about being covered, really. I asked around a bit and most agreed they would even cover themselves in the hottest nights of the year. But why? Removed. It blocks convection cooling, aka wind draft cooling. If your bedroom temperature is above your skin temperature to 35 degrees Celsius, or 95 degrees Fahrenheit, then you will feel more comfortable without the blanket. But anything below that will feel uncomfortable because convection cooling is x10 more efficient than other cooling and is triggered by your body being hotter than the room. What happens is a part of your body feels slightly too cold, and your body will heat it up a little bit. But that area is now slightly hotter than the air in the room. This causes a tiny draft of air to raise out of that area to be replaced by slightly colder air. This is efficient at cooling and your body need to work extra hard on that area that it didn't want to be that cool in the first place. If you have a blanket, no matter how thin, that gets in the way of that draft, it's much more comfortable. Hairy people tend to not mind that draft, as the body hair is sufficient to get in the way. From experience in countries with mosquitoes, the cover helps you not to think about that patch of exposed skin. Obviously a mosquito net is a better solution. But I find that the exposed skin is extra sensitive because the body is searching for a touch. Whereas with some kind of cover, your skin is already being touched so you aren't as aware of a possible incoming touch. Removed. How extensive was your questioning on this? I can't sleep comfortably at all with just a single blanket. Either I want a mountain of covers or I'll sleep uncovered on top of it all. So my best explanation is that it's purely personal preference and you just coincidentally asked several people with the same personal preferences. Due to fears imposed on us during childhood plus natural fears of the unknown. The dark in our rooms is an object of fear, since it can contain things we do not know about. It is a trigger of our natural fear of the unknown. Children's stories of monsters living in the dark reinforce that fear. It then stays with us forever, in our subconscious. The coverage of blankets is a message passed during our childhood that unknown thing cannot get you when you are covered. It reinforces our natural response to that fear, that is to take cover and being protected. When we grow up that fear may not be obvious, but it is there, sending messages from our subconscious. Then, when we cover ourselves, that safety message from childhood is sent and we feel more comfortable we're safer than without any protection. Sorry for any mistakes, English is not my first language. Although, of course, we can't know which answer is right, I'm going to amplify Metal Anonymous's answer about feeling safe from bugs and boogeymen. Even if there is no conscious or subconscious thought about such things, there could be a permanent, instinctive, preference for remaining covered at night for reasons which in evolutionary time might be so that predatory animals, lions etc., can't smell you or see you. Edit. I'm really curious who downvoted the suggestion that we evolved a preference to remain covered at night due to predators during the vast expanse of time when we evolved, even if we aren't frightened of predators in our houses now? It is the type of concept/distinction I've long believed and eventually gained academic credibility over several decades. Here, for instance, is an incorrect description of the phenomenon from Harvard Business Review, https://hbr.org/1998/07/ How hardwired is human behavior in an uncertain world. Those who survived always had their emotional radar, call it instinct, if you will, turned on. And Stone Age people, at the mercy of wild predators or impending natural disasters, came to trust their instincts above all else. Note that this article is saying that people learn to trust instinct, but the word learning is wrong here. It wasn't a matter of individual people hypothesizing that instincts like wanting to be covered at night are trustworthy, and testing whether or not it is true. The point is most of what we think and do has no conscious component, like scanning the eyes when you look at something. The illusion is that our free will directly controls all our actions and our behavior is governed by a balance of conscious preferences. I never thought that this is so, and this Harvard Business Review article is typical of how difficult it is for people to understand that the things we want to do aren't determined by consciously balancing preferences, risks and fears, nor unconsciously. The balancing act takes place during all of evolutionary time, and this implies that our consciousnesses are inextricably embedded in nature itself. As nature becomes displaced/polluted and dies, our consciousness follows a corresponding trajectory, until we are like those sows in captivity who when pregnant seem to be trying to build a nest with their snout in the concrete floor of the pen. The sow doesn't believe it is building a nest. It just prefers to drag its snout on the concrete floor, Just as we cover ourselves with polyester sheets at night, and not knowing why. Probably for the tactile sensation. Being enveloped in something felt secure as in being in a guardian's embrace. There is some evidence that light hitting your skin, not just your eyes, disrupts sleep cycles and keeps you from deep sleep. Besides the fact that I get too cold, even during the Texas heat, I have to have a blanket around me because otherwise, I feel naked without it. I can't shake that feeling.